What's up, guys? Elfis here, and today we're doing another. I guess we're gonna call them like replay castings or something. It seems every time I do this, somebody sends me an IM right as I start up. um, yeah, so we're doing another replay castings. I'm not sure of the team name actually, but it's the Legion team here that we're looking at.
It's I Feel It Esport versus Piston U Kitchen.
Nice, fantastic team names. And as you've just noticed, Tatty Jangles is joining me once again.
Yeah, good evening.
And we're focusing more on the Legion team on this one, and we're gonna go ahead and start right up. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And again, I'll leave up the picking and all that to him because he does that stuff and I don't.
Alright, so we're going to see first bans.
A
I
cursed
doubt they'll
Highland.
pick a curse.
I love a cursed. I love seeing a curse.
I feel it, if you don't want to play it, that's fine to ban out. I would personally ban out Tempest as first. I don't know, actually, if you're Legion, maybe not. But I feel it is perfectly sound ban.
Grinix?
I'd like to, if I'm playing Legion, I'd like to ban out junglers and first pick Tempest if it's still on the board. Doesn't want to deal with the DR.
Because
I mean, Grinix and DR are pretty strong solo and suicide.
really,
So,
I don't really see Grinix played that much, but I don't know.
Grinix is run quite frequently as a suicide in competitive tier games.
I guess I don't play competitive really, so that would make more sense. Oh, did they increase the extra time you get? I thought you used to get 60 seconds. Did they bump it?
No, yeah, they increased it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Warbeast, if I don't see... Oh, I was really hoping to see Tempest there. And still no Tempest from either side. That's interesting. Both Hag and Tempest are strong heroes. But I'm very surprised to not see Tempest as one of the first picks. Very surprised indeed. And again, the Hag is obviously a reliable hero, a really good go-to, either solo short, mid 1v2, or suicide. Kraken again works in that role. Okay. But I'm very surprised to not see some of the top tier supports or... there's Tempest. There's Tempest. So I would expect to see either a jungler or a support here.
If they were going to pick a jungler, what jungler would you pick? Oh, Parasite. Okay.
I was going to say Parasite. Parasite or Keeper. Keeper's better as a suicide, but Parasite is good. You want either of those because they can both cancel Tempest ult. And Parasite just brings a lot of aggression on. And when you have Tempest, you're typically playing a tiny little bit more passive. So for bans here, I would expect to see... You know what? I don't actually know. I don't actually know what I expect to see here. Maybe Scout. Maybe some of the more irritating suicides to deal with, like Scout. Warbeast's already been banned. Maybe Keeper, because you don't want to give him Keeper Tempest. So I'd expect to see Scout and Tempest banned.
You mean Keeper?
Yeah, it's Scout and Keeper, yeah.
Okay.
So I'd expect to see banned out.
Corrupted. Okay.
Corrupted Disciple, that's banning out a solo short. Ravenor, again, is one of those mid-initiator heroes that's quite frequently picked. Really strong. Especially if you're running 2v2 mid, he like a Ravenor NG lane will pretty much beat anything 2v2 mid. Apart from dual ranged, you have to get a little bit more lucky with the ball lightning. You have to really be on hitting those. You're against double range mid. So what do we have here? Torturer ban, yeah, that's fair enough. Ravenor Torturers. Oh no, well they don't have Ravenor, then what am I talking about?
Yeah, they
Torturer, solid support option. Not really surprised to see that banned. I didn't actually look at what was eventually picked before we started this, so this is all news to me. Engineer, sound ban again, really strong. Flux ban. I don't know. I wouldn't have banned Flux.
Yeah, if they already have Engineer banned, I think Engineer Flux is a nice combination. But
when you've already got Kraken picked and Engineer banned, you don't need to ban Flux. I mean, Flux Tempest is okay, but it's not as devastating as Flux NG.
I would love it if they actually ran Oogie. That would be fantastic.
Oh, Oogie's fantastic fun to watch.
He's so fun to watch and play, actually.
They need to pick up a support here, and they're probably going to pick up their support and their mid-initiator, I think, and send Kraken Suicide.
You think they're going to send Kraken Suicide?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm expecting to see something like Pebbles or Magnus, maybe. Probably not, though. He's not really running that role very much anymore.
Maybe a Gauntlet?
Expect to see... I'd probably... Yeah, they could do that. They could do Gauntlet. They could do Devourer. They could do Deadwood.
Prisoner.
Yeah, they could do that as well. I mean, it's going to be a strength mid initiator. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they could run a dual range mid. They might do that, but I'm almost completely certain it's going to be a mid initiator hero here, like a melee strength mid initiator of some description.
Okay.
Pebbles is probably the best one left on the board, in my opinion.
Pebbles. I love the staff of the master on Pebbles. It's fantastic. Glacius.
Be Pebbles, Pebbles or Devo maybe if they're confident with that. Depends on the team. A lot of teams don't like to run Devo.
Come on, Swigga. Who are you going to take?
I mean, they could be Drunken Master. I personally think he's better as a solo, but it could be him. You could have Rally. You could have Panda even if you want to go that route. I mean, there's a lot of options here, but I think it will probably be Pebbles. It should be Pebbles, in my opinion.
Okay. All right.
It's just a strong line.
Okay, let's say they do pick Pebbles. Who do you think the Hellborn's going to pick as their final pick?
Hellborn, looking at that, they're going to need... Again, they need their mid initiator. So one of these teams, I'll be amazed if neither of them pick Pebbles.
Couldn't Pesty be like their mid initiator?
Oh yeah, that's right. That is what Pesty will be. They need their solo short, actually. So something like Slither is probably going to be a good pick. I mean, they could have almost any ranged agility as their solo laner here. You never know. One of these teams might do something crazy and just completely throw us off with some weird pick, but it's going to be the mid initiator for Legion, and then it's going to be the solo short from Hellborn here, for sure. I mean, it's probably going to be an agility, a ranged agility carry for Hellborn, but it wouldn't be. Yeah, there's Pebbles. So I would expect Slither here. That would be. I mean, they might be confident in running some unusual hero, but Slither, or maybe they could do an int as well. They could do something like a Pyro for solo short. Or a Soul Reaper or something like that. D-Sham maybe, Puppet Master.
It's been a while since I've seen a Soul Reaper. That's always fun. Soul Reaper's not played as much anymore.
He's not.
At least in the games I play anyways.
They're going to be against the Kraken, so they're definitely going to need to pick a ranged solo, because Kraken will kind of win the lane against melees. And you don't want that to happen. You want to completely box him out. Slither, in my opinion, is the best option, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, so let's say if they pick Slither, which team has the better lineup, do you think? Or are they equivalent?
I think Hellborn has the best lineup in that case. Pestilence is just an amazing initiator. That lane is going to be probably, in my opinion, favourable for Hellborn in mid as well. They have Tempest, which is always amazing. I mean, they do have a couple of counters on the Legion team, but Tempest is always an amazing hero to have. Bubble's really strong suicide. You can't really go wrong with that. Can be really active all stages of the game. Kraken's going to do better in his lane in a 1v1 than Bubbles will, depending on what. I mean, Bubbles versus Hag, he'll probably do alright. Gemini. That's fine. I personally, though, would have gone with a ranged. Because you know you're going to be against Kraken. I mean, unless they send Hag Suicide, but I think they'll probably send Kraken Suicide.
Okay.
I definitely would. If I was considering between the two, I definitely would send Kraken Suicide at this point, because I know it's going to be against a melee. They could do something weird like Gemini Suicide and Bubble solo short, or they could even put Pestilence in a dual lane short and have Bubble solo mid and Gemini Suicide. They have options, and that's a big thing for them. They have more options than I think both teams actually. Thinking about it, have quite a few options because they can both go aggressive. Legion more so has the opportunity to go aggressive, pseudo tri lane, and have the solos in the other lanes.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Fantastic.
I mean, both teams could lane this in a number of ways, but what I would expect to see if they're just running the standard lineup is Pebbles Aluna mid versus Pesty Glacius, Gemini solo short, Bubble solo long lane, and then on the other team I would see Hag solo short, Kraken solo long. But it looks like they're sending Hag solo top, and they've pulled Kraken regen, so he's going to be solo down here. All 5 from Hellborn are going to guard the jungle to stop it getting warded, which is nice. I like that. Meanwhile, 4 out of the 5 from Legion are going down here to do likewise while Hag goes and tries to ward up, but she's going to need to be careful. She's going to need to be very careful. I would not be surprised if she gets first blooded here.
I don't think she's going to go for it, to be honest with you. I probably wouldn't if I knew 4 of my team members are going down. At least until if I saw somebody down bot trying to ward, then I might go.
She's making the right decision by not bothering right now because they can obviously see at bot that there's no one.
Yeah.
No one here.
Yeah. If you saw somebody down here trying to ward up, then it would be another story, I guess.
But they're not going aggressive. They're just doing Pebbles Luna mid. And we're going to see Bubbles Suicide against a solo short Kraken and Hag solo top against...
Nah, it looks like a solo mid Kraken.
Oh, they're doing that?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Kraken's
yeah, they are. So they're doing the pseudo tri lane at bot and getting as much farm as possible on Pebbles. I like the decision. That's fine. Fine by me. That might, you know, they're sacrificing farm on Hag and hoping to pick it up later, I guess, and just give as much early game presence as they can with this lineup, because obviously the Hellborn has better late game anyway. Quite a lot superior late game, in fact. Gemini solo mid, so we're actually going to see 1v1 mid. Kraken's going to win this. Kraken should definitely win this. Bubbles is going to get nothing down here. Absolutely
they're doing
nothing.
A duo top with Pesty. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they're both doing all right.
Yeah, I like it. Nobody got any wards in the jungles either, so both of the junglers are going to have a good time.
Which is better. That's favourable for Tempest, really, because he jungles so much faster than Parasite.
Yeah. Although I will say, if you don't ward any of the big camps, Parasite, if you get some nice creeps, he can set up some really nice ganks too. Although on either Gemini or Bubbles, it's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I like the decision coming out from Hellborn here, because Parasite is basically just going to have to static farm. He's just going to be farming.
Yeah. Even if he gets like Wild Hunters, he can't really gank on them. They both have decent escapes.
I mean, they can gank Bubbles.
They could try.
He's not as hard to gank as people tend to think, and like not bother ganking him. You know, you can.
Oh, he's walking in the jungle here. It looks like he's coming to ward the pull. He just walked past Parasite, so everybody should have seen him.
Yeah. Parasite's just gonna.
He's just gonna bubble away.
Out.
Yeah, and he did get the ward up. I mean, they saw him coming, so they could counter it if they wanted to. They must know it's here.
Hag's just hiding up there. She's not going to be doing anything but just sitting there.
Yeah, she gets experience though.
I think overall the early game is going to be massively in favour of Hellborn. Mid's going to be won by Kraken, and Pebbles and Pesty, provided they're both good at getting creep kills, are both going to be able to get a massive amount of farm. Hag's going to do better than Bubbles though, because she's simply sat in that spot.
Just on a side note, by the way, mid's actually tied at the moment. They're both 10-1 for creeps. So he's not really winning at the moment, but well, now they're both 11-1. But
well, in terms of the regen though, he's definitely winning on that. He's still got all his regen, and Gemini has used most of his old regen.
I like Glacius cutting down some of the trees so you could see Hag in there.
Yeah.
Well done. You got a little backup coming too.
Hag leveled Scream instead of Haunt. She would have been able to fight him off if she had leveled Haunt. So I really dislike the decision to level Scream at level 2. Always level Haunt at level 2.
Yeah, I also don't.
Gemini's he's sending illusions to help Tempest in the jungle here. Weird. But sure, why not?
Let's see how's bot doing. Pebbles 16-4 against a 0-0 Bubbles. That's good. At least they're winning the lane they should guarantee win. So that's nice.
So GPM wise, it's in favor of.
Oh, actually, you know what? Bubbles has 0 XPM. He hasn't gotten any experience yet either. So that's actually doing really good job by Aluna zoning him out. Unless she's not noticing he's by the secret shop at the moment.
Aluna is one of, if not the best, zoning support. I think on a par with Rhapsody probably. Both of those heroes are amazing at that job.
Yeah.
Hag's doing a lot better. She's just kind of being a nuisance now and just kind of messing with this creep pool. She's not really in any danger.
Nope.
She's going to have to use some regen though.
Did the image Gemini block the last spawn of this camp? I think it might.
It wouldn't have spawned anyway.
Oh, with their creep.
I thought it did it at first, but they killed it inside the camp.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Parasite coming down here to try and gank Bubbles, but Bubbles is just sitting there. I like that both suicides are playing this pretty well, but Hag needed to level Haunt level 2. For sure.
Yeah, although I will say the suicide is going better for the Legion. Hag, she doesn't have any creep kills, but she is at least getting a little bit of experience.
Oh, absolutely. But I will expect to see Kraken really dominate Gemini mid.
Hmm.
I'd be very surprised if it goes the other way.
Still,
Gemini's
still
got his
really
bottom.
even, to be honest. He hasn't. I
I'm
mean,
surprised that.
they are both level 5. I guess in terms of regen, you're right. Kraken is winning in terms of regen. He's only used 1 Runes of Blight, whereas Gemini's out of regen unless you count his bottle, which obviously is regen. But I mean, so they are winning. He's winning the regen battle, but last hits they're on par with each other. I'll give
Kraken
Gemini
would win
props.
this. Kraken would win this if he used some mana to harass. He's not using any mana. He's been sat at full mana the whole game. He's not used a charge or a Q at all.
I guess that's true. He
If you want
probably
to contest,
should have.
if you want to contest and win a lane, you got to use your mana to put more harassment out.
Hellborn's gonna get a free
if
tower
they
top.
ever find bubbles down here, he's going to be killed a lot easier than Hag is going to be killed as well. Like Pebbles will just, if he sees him, he'll just kill him.
Yeah, but in the same sense, his support's gone at the moment, so I don't think he's gonna catch him. But the top tower, they're just gonna give it away for free. They can't even come close.
Hag's
to
got DD, she might try and deny it.
Oh, will she? Actually, no, she's not gonna go for it. Aluna worked her way up here, but it was way too late. I don't even think that was worth her time, to be honest. Unless they're gonna push another one, which it looks like they might actually, or at least attempt to.
As I said, look at the farm here. Tempest much higher than Parasite. Parasite can't get any ganks off, so and he doesn't farm anywhere near as quickly as Tempest. Gemini, I'm surprised to see winning mid.
Hag's dead. Oh, Tempest ult for the Hag. Okay, that was unnecessary because the blink was on cooldown, but okay.
Oh,
actually it was
Glacius
not.
is gone.
All right,
Glacius
so
is gone.
Glacius dies in turn. Not a terrible trade. Could have been worse. Actually, I'm actually okay with that trade because Glacius is doing better than Hag is. 150 GPM. Level-wise, he's even ahead, too.
Yeah.
So that was actually decent. The Tempest ult was definitely unnecessary. Hag had already blinked. The blink was just on cooldown, so.
But then again, if you're...
I guess it's not the worst. You know, you get a kill out of it, so, you know, you guarantee the kill at least. It's not a complete loss, but...
I will just reiterate that I dislike Hag's...
Oh, she still doesn't have a level in Haunt.
No. I really dislike that. I mean, you should get 2 levels in Haunt, in my opinion. You should get 2.
I don't know. I like 1 level in Sonar Scream at least, but I definitely agree with you that she should have leveled Haunt first. Especially...
What I normally do is I get 2 levels in Horn and 1 level in Blink, and then I max Sonar Scream, and then I get my ult at level 8. Because normally if you're Suicide, you're not going to have the mana pool to really use all of your skills. Unless you have full mana and you literally blow all of your mana on doing that, and you're not going to have enough to like follow up with another Scream or Blink away again. You know, it's better to save your ult until level 8, in my opinion. Unless of course you're getting a lot of farm somehow.
Oh, Kraken. No, he's good. Yeah.
I disagree with Kraken not getting a bottle.
I also disagree with that. I like having bottle on Kraken, especially if you're solo mid. Or at the very least, you know what? I don't necessarily think it's a solo mid item, but at the very least, to get rune control, somebody on the team should grab an IO and Spark or something, or IO and Stone, sorry, or something to at least help with rune control and, you know, runes and stuff like that. No bottle at all is kind of a mistake.
Pebbles is going to have his portal key before Pestilence.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing they're really going for them on Legion is Pebbles farm, and that's what they set this up around. They should have done a lot better mid with this Kraken. He's not been using his mana. He's not been doing as much harassment on Gemini as he could, because he should win that lane. He should easily win that lane.
Actually, he's lost the lane.
Yeah, he has.
Which
just
is
because
kind of
he's just been passive farming and he didn't get a bottle. And he needed to put a lot more pressure on Gemini. He's perfectly capable of doing so.
They might take the tower, though. There's a Tempest is on his way to help defend. No, he's not. He's turning back around. So they might get a tower here. It doesn't look like anybody's coming at the moment. Oh, purple. Aluna. Oh, that's an image. Never mind. Sorry. Image. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? Gold saved up. Pebbles got that PK and 1 creep kill, which is nice. He could probably PK and kill the bubbles immediately. That's what I would do.
I would expect to see that if... No, he doesn't have enough mana, though.
Oh, you're right. Actually, he doesn't. Even if he turns his int boots on, he won't have enough mana, so never mind. Does anybody have... No, Aluna doesn't have any mana potions, unfortunately.
He needs like 315 mana.
But he does have... He's got 250. If Aluna stuns, she's invis, so if she gets a nice stun, they'll get the kill. But...
Or if she just throws... If Pebbles hits his stun and then Aluna power throws, that's going to be enough damage.
But Bubbles is too out of range for the stun at the moment. They backed off on mid too.
They really want to do it, don't they? They really want to set this up.
Kraken's actually losing mid in every facet. Less XPM, less GPM, lower creep kills. This is not good. Yeah, really not good. I guess they've done more damage on the tower, but still.
They should have won 2 out of 3 lanes, and what actually happened is they lost.
Let's see.
They lost 2 out of 3 lanes.
Yeah. They did win bot unanimously, though, which is good. Because the last replay we did, the lane that they were supposed to win, they didn't even win super strong. So in this case, they at least won the one lane they were supposed to.
It's exactly the same for top for Pesty. He's got his PK now as well.
Also, this gank in mid is a waste of time because they just walk past a ward.
If you're not able to utilize the Parasite, Tempest is, they're just going to have a much higher overall gold lead on the other team. Oh, oh yeah,
these guys are fucked.
Oh, wow.
Parasite done. Oh, no, Parasite maybe not done. He doesn't have a TP, though, right? No TP. He could get into a creep here, though, and get away, so that's at least something he's got going for him. No, he's done. Yeah, all right.
Sure.
And actually, when it came down to it, Pesty got his PK almost at the same time as Pebbles did, by the way.
He got it about a minute later.
Well, yeah, that's true, but in fairness, Pebbles didn't do anything with it when he got it anyway, so it didn't actually hurt them.
Pesty's paid off a lot more. I really, what it comes back to is when you have a Parasite passive jungling against a Tempest and you don't win your favorable lane mid, then you're only winning 1 out of your 3 lanes and you're losing jungle essentially. So you've only got 1 hero that's doing what he should be doing, and Pebbles is obviously the highest GPM in the game, but Pesty's barely behind, and then you have 3 players over 300 on the Hellborn team, and now Pesty's overtaken as the highest farm in the game.
Yeah, actually, Pebbles' GPM dropped by like 40 over the last minute or 2. I guess he wasn't farming very well over the last minute, but he was at 430 last time I looked at him.
I'm already going to say Hellborn's going to win this.
Yeah, you're already going. Yeah, actually, looking at the golden experience advantage as well.
Yeah, Legion needed to win this early, and they haven't done enough. I mean, Parasite, in fairness, it's hard. It's been quite hard for him to get much done. Oh, Hag goes down. Did you catch that?
Yeah, well, I missed it, but and Bubbles is definitely going to get away too.
Kraken just doesn't use any mana. Look, charge and ult him. Just stand and ult him. What are you doing?
I don't think he would have killed him even if he had done it. I think Bubbles was waiting for the shell surf. Oh, and he's done. They get him. Well, the PK does pay off in the end. Nicely done. I'll give credit where credit's due. They're going to lose top. They're going to take a lot of damage on top tower, though. Unless we get a TP. No, I don't think so. We got...
If Kraken had hit a stun into an ult, he would have killed Bubbles, though.
Yeah, but I think Bubbles was... I'm not sure he would have landed it is the only thing. I think Bubbles was waiting for the shell surf. Yeah. And also, Bubbles, he had a take cover, and he failed to take cover the, what is that, torrent. So, in that sense, that was a mistake. He shouldn't have even hit that. So, he got lucky there, but they shouldn't have gotten that torrent. And actually, they're both dead down here. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not a bad release to Kraken, but it's not enough, I don't think.
Oh,
they almost got him, actually.
If Kraken had just hit Glacius, they would have got the
yeah, well... They stayed too long. That was well done by the Legion team. Nice PK, stunned by Pesty. That was well played.
You've got to see that coming. You've got to see that coming out, though. I mean, if you don't have vision and you're trying to push like that, you've got to expect the initiator, who's nowhere else on the map, to come in and stun you.
Actually, the only vision the Legion team has is this one ward up top, which they should have more wards than that by now, I think. I'm not exactly sure where I would like to see their other wards. I guess if I had to say, they should have some kind of vision around the little junction point near bot rune, I guess. Not necessarily on bot rune, but, somewhere at this ramp or something down here. And then if they're going to push, they could even throw a lane ward past the tier 1 tower there if they wanted to, which wouldn't be so bad knowing that they have Pesty with a PK.
The only hope that Legion has at this point is to get up some aggressive wards, get some pickoffs, and push when you're at...
They really should ward the Hellborn jungle. That's what they kind of have to do at this point.
If they get some aggressive wards up and get a pick-off or 2 and then push a tower when it's 4v5 or 3v5, then they have a chance.
And there goes their only ward anyways, countered. So
they cannot fight 5v5. If they fight 5v5, they're gonna lose.
Also, the Legion team hasn't counter warded at all, and all of the Hellborn team's wards so far have been in fairly obvious locations, like right on the rune. Or something like that, where, I mean, this one up in top lane, that's not so obvious, so I wouldn't expect them to counter that. But at the very least, the ones at the runes, they could probably have countered. They could have guessed that they're there. I mean, they haven't tried to counter ward at all yet, so I haven't seen a single Rev ward
Glacius
bot.
is doing a really good job of supporting in this game.
Yeah, stacked Ancients. Ancients are only double, though, but they're still not bad for the Hellborn team. They're going to get that.
That's triple, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. There's 6 of the Predators, but they spawn 2 in each camp, so... Oh, maybe you're right. No, you're right. Actually, I think you were right. You're right. That's triple. I stand corrected. It's hard to tell with those friggin' things, man.
No, I don't think they would have used Glacius out if it wasn't a triple stack.
More counter warding by the Hellborn. They actually counter warded unnecessarily in bot lane, but it's okay. Anyway, I actually do like this ward by the Legion team right here by the Kongor pit. It's a less obvious location for them to check. It doesn't give you rune vision, but it does give you a lot of vision around mid lane.
Oh,
nice pick on Gemini.
Overstaying is welcome there, and that's what they needed to do. They can probably get mid tower now.
Yeah.
If they get a good spread here,
they shouldn't group up like this. They're too grouped. Pesty stun followed by a Tempest ult would really hurt right now, but it doesn't look like they're gonna try and defend it. So.
Nah, they got it.
Yeah, they're good. Also, Pebbles did get a bottle in the end, which I like. Although I do still think Kraken should have gotten the bottle.
So that's fine. That's what they need to do. They need to get a pick off and then push when they're at an advantage. And they need to, if they can keep doing that, they will have a chance. Also, if they wait for the Hellborn to push and initiate on them, then they'll have a chance. But if they try and push 5v5, they will get initiated on by Pesty, followed up by Tempest, and then they are screwed.
We have 2 wards on Aluna. I'm curious where she's going to place them. Because that kind of will, depending on where she places them, actually will affect whether or not they win this game, to be honest with you. Because if she places them incorrectly, it's just a waste of wards. You're right, they really need aggressive wards at the moment, which they don't have at all. I mean, I guess this one ward in mid is pseudo-aggressive because they lost that tier 1, but still.
I don't expect to see them defend mid.
I expect to see a quick deny right now. Deny.
Kraken's screwed.
Oh, Kraken died. I didn't notice that, but they did give up the deny in mid for a trade for that, so. Not a complete win for them.
Out of it, then.
Yeah.
I think it's something out of it. I mean, looking at the GPMs, Kraken until that death was on a par with Gemini again, and he has his PK, so they have some pretty good initiation and follow up now between Kraken, Pebbles, Parasite, and Hag. You know, that's some nice 2 initiators and 2 follow up to just wipe them out. But I mean, if they go and try for a 5v5 team fight, they are going to get pretty much demolished if they get initiated on. It's whoever gets the initiation is going to have a huge advantage, and that's all the time, really. But they've got to really make sure they play aggressive, and because when you're behind like this, it's easy to try and play passive and play scared and try and catch up, but you're not going to be able to. You're just not going to be able to, because they're just... You have to start taking risks if you're behind, and you have to be aggressive, and especially when the enemy team has late game. Maybe if they had better late game than the Hellborn, they would have been... It'd be a better option to just kind of have defensive wards and play passive and try and get back into the game that way. But Gemini, Tempest, and Pestilence is just so much better late game than they have on this team.
Yeah. On top of that, by the way, the 6K experience gold, or not gold, sorry, experience lead that the Hellborn team has is in some of their big chunky characters as well. But on top of that, if you just look at the support level difference, like Aluna versus Glacius, Glacius is 8. On top of that, Bubbles versus the Hag, those are suicides on supports. But just looking at the lower level players, the 2 levels on the Hag, you know. So, and even the jungler also, Tempest has 2 levels on Parasite. So I mean, each of their roles is kind of losing at their role, which is unfortunate too.
I mean, Gemini is going to get higher XP per minute than anyone just because of... Oh, wow.
Pebbles.
I actually missed that. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. I guess he went way too ballsy, and then he tried to PK into the trees here, and they caught him. It looks like they threw a Tempest Comet or something, and they ended up...
They can't defend this. They shouldn't defend this. What they should do is counter push They should counter push top with Hag.
Yeah, they're not trying to defend it, but it doesn't look like they're trying to counter push either. In fairness, Hag wouldn't even come close to the tower by the time they needed to get it anyways. So,
but she should just sit and farm this lane and push. She should push it out at least. I like the decision to not try and defend it though. You know what? They should try and defend this though.
Yeah, because Pebbles will be up by the time they fight it anyways.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
Hag needs to go back now. Yeah, she is doing so.
It looks like the Hellborn team might not try and push it too hard though. They are kind of backing off.
They're just going to clear out the jungle. They might try and do Kong. I would.
I mean, I don't know. They're I guess if they left like one of the elementals or something, they don't have the best vision against it. They have this ward on that hill over here to the left of the ramp, but if they came up from the bottom,
Glacius has 2 wards on him though, so I would have.
Yeah. If they warded, then definitely.
And then gone and tried it at least.
Counter warding by Aluna, mistakenly counter warding. Actually, I'll tell you what, the Hellborn's wards, pretty much all game, other than the ones they've been throwing on the runes, have been pretty good, actually. They're not in super obvious locations. The lane wards aren't crazy, easily predictable. And even these 2 wards they have in the jungle, not super predictable, to be honest with you. So, well done by them. The Legion's a bit more predictable, to be honest. Actually, 2 counter wards, both wasted by the Legion team. There's double damage on bot rune, but nobody has vision on it at the moment. They have this rune. I like this. This is the ward that the Legion team did over by the Kongor pit. It's kind of a pseudo Kongor ward. It doesn't really give you vision of the pit, but it is really nice for, usually you can see somebody going into the pit. You can't always, but a lot of the time you can. So I like that, and it's not easily counterable. So that was a good ward.
It is easily counterable if you put the counter ward in the common spot, which is just to the...
Let me rephrase that. It's not easily counterable for a Kongor ward, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're countering like bot rune, then yeah, it's probably going to be seen.
They do have rune vision with that ward though.
Oh, it does give you rune vision, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is just on the edge. Really? That seems kind of far, but okay. All right, I stand corrected.
I guarantee it. I've played a lot of support. It's one of the more sneaky ones.
Okay, all right. And they're actually yellow picks up the DD, so you're probably right. I'll take your word for it. Parasite getting what I'm guessing is, I hope it's not going to be a Codex, to be honest with you, at this late in the game.
It could be.
I could be,
it could be anything. To be honest, Codex is still going to be okay because you can still burst down.
I'd prefer more utility items, but yeah, it's not the worst, I guess. Oh.
It would still be okay. It's just not ideal. Nice dodge. Oh wow. Oh, I thought they were going to turn that. Come on, release the Kraken.
Oh, I was watching bot.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, there. Oh wow. Yeah, Gemini.
I didn't even see Gemini.
Oh,
okay, he's done.
Bubbles. Oh wow, this counter initiation.
Oh, Pesty P. Oh, he poured it up top. This is gonna end poorly, I think.
Oh,
that was a mediocre. They did not coordinate that very well. Oh no. And yeah, Aluna's probably dead as well. No, she's gonna. Oh, she got out. Nicely done.
Ends up being a 2-for-2. It's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst. That was poor coordination by the Legion team, though. Pebbles chucked him, and then Kraken charged at him after he had moved out of that spot. So in that sense, a little better coordination would have been nicer.
Yeah.
But it happens.
It could have been a lot worse. They could have had all 4 heroes die there quite easily.
Yeah. I will say, I like to, when it gets later into the game, I don't like to see this rune ward right here at the top rune. I like to see it more on the cliff to the right here. You might not know what I'm talking about, James, but I guess they can see it. I like to see it more here because it's A, harder to counter, but more importantly, it gives you vision of this ramp right here where the Hellborn team has a ward. And I think that's more valuable than getting vision of this little... what do we call it, I guess, a choke point here. I think it's more valuable as you get later into the game, especially after you push the tier 1 tower, to be honest. But
also, if you put it on the spot that I know exactly where you're thinking of as well, put it on that spot, it also still gives rune vision. Yeah,
it does. It just, you're trading, all you're trading is this ramp vision for this choke point vision up here. That's really it. And I guess you get a little vision of this choke point over here too. But I think it's harder to counter too. It's a lot less likely that they'll just randomly
people don't bother countering that spot, really.
Yeah, so often. it's a much better... Oh! Although I will say it just gave him the vision to initiate, but I don't think it's going to be enough in the end. Tempest ult? Oh, God. Nice interruption, actually, by the Parasite.
Big Kraken ult. Gemini going to go down? Tries to throw him back in.
Oh, failed charge again. Okay, so in the end, the initiation went totally backwards, but
It's going to be a genocide.
yeah, actually, Aluna, is she dead too? Yeah, she's done. Genocide for only Tempest. Not the best. But you know what? There were a lot of good things that happened in that fight. That was a nice initiation, although you guys didn't have the aggressive wording to know that his team was around. But it was a good initiation, good reaction time by all the Legion team. And I will say, nice interruption of the Tempest ult by Parasite, almost immediately. I think you got half a second, maybe 3/4 of a second of it off, and then it interrupted, which is pretty decent, actually. But in the end, you didn't have the warding, the aggressive warding up that you needed. Like it would have been nice to have one here at like the center of the jungle to see that, and even one all the way up here by the tier 2 tower wouldn't be the worst either, considering how you guys should be playing. And now they're gonna get a free Kongor, and they just got a genocide for a Tempest. So
yeah, this is looking definitely.
Yeah, that was unfortunately. I don't know why they're backing off. That was not the smartest. They could have killed it. They had plenty of time. But
they don't have the most. I mean,
they got it down to half already. That I think they had plenty of time.
They don't have the most vision though. They don't have the most vision.
Okay, I guess. But if they were, all I'm saying is if they were looking at the death timers, though, they could have known that they wouldn't be there in time. But either way, it's okay. I guess they are ahead. There's no reason to take even small risks, I guess.
They're ahead and they have superior late game, so they're just playing safe, and that's.
Unfortunately, that initiation that Pebbles just did, that team fight was kind of the nail in the coffin. I think that put them too far back to even be able to come back at this point.
Also, Pebbles should have definitely got a shrunken head before that Souls.
Yeah, actually, with the 2,000 from the Souls, you can. It's already like 2/3 of the way to your shrunken, maybe closer to half, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you're already a big chunk towards the. Also, did he get the? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Did he get Blood Chalice before or after the bottle?
I don't know, but Blood Chalice is fine if you just feel like you need more mana. Then just get Blood Chalice.
I guess I could see it. All right. I personally don't like Blood Chalice and Bottle, but I guess it's a bit preference. I guess if you think you need more mana, then...
It's literally just, if you're using a lot of mana and you want to have more mana, then just get Blood Chalice. It's not a big deal. It's not an expensive item.
True. But
people hate on it a lot, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, but my point was simply just the 2,000 from the Souls plus another 600 from the Chalice. You'd be really close to your Shrunken right there.
Oh, Hag. Oh, Hag. Oh, you're in so much trouble.
Oh, she had a time to... Oh, she did get the blink. I was going to say, she had like a time she could have blinked, actually, because Gemini was a bit delayed on his stuns, but in the end she gets out. Oh, Gemini might be in a bit of trouble here, actually.
8 HP, Nick. 8 HP. Oh,
there it
Gemini.
Is. Gemini.
Kraken.
Oh, Kraken. Another mischarge. That's the third mischarge I've seen.
He hesitates a lot. Oh.
Although, you know what? The bubble's coming in for some... Oh, the Kraken ult finally. I think this is going to be...
Gemini lives.
They need to get out. No, there goes it all turns.
It's going to be horrible. Oh, the
Oh, God. They stayed around too long. And you know what? I will say that the Hellborn team, really nice reaction there, actually. They saw Gemini. They saw Gemini getting chased down on bot, and actually a couple of them ported to the tier 2 tower there to come help out. So
I don't like to be overly critical or lay a lot of blame on one player, but Kraken has not played well this game.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of charges. I've noticed at least 3 really big charges that he needed to hit.
He portkeys in and then he just sort of runs around and isn't sure what to do. He's not confident enough in his ability to land his charge or hit his ult. He seems like he's portkeys in, but he's nervous to do anything.
And you know what I will say, actually, with a number of heroes, but especially Kraken, because it's easier to dodge his charge than it is like a Pebble stun. But with a number of heroes, when you PK in, that is the best time to do it because they're not necessarily expecting it right away. Because obviously, if you PK in, they have like a split second to think, oh, I need to be ready to dodge a charge. No, it's much harder to dodge the charge as soon as you PK in rather than dodging it after you're sitting around trying to aim it for a second or two. It's so much easier to dodge it. So really, even if you're less confident about it immediately, you're so much better off trying to do it right after a PK than you are waiting to try and land a skill like that that's harder to land.
I mean, Kraken should have done so much better in the laning phase against Gemini as well. He really should. I think it's been a very big contributing factor when... What I think that might have worked better is to go 2 mid and have Parasite in the opposing jungle. Because, I mean, Kraken or Hag is going to get a lot of farm against the solo bubbles.
You know what else I'll say real quick? I think Kraken might be going for a demonic, which doesn't make sense since Pebbles already has the souls. So a little bit more coordination there. I mean, I guess he could be going for something else, but let's... No, he's going... Okay, he's going barbed armor. So, okay, I stand corrected. That's a bit of a better choice. It's still not the best, I think, but better, at least. I like it.
It's okay. It's a bit weird, though.
Your voice is super low, dude, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, I just took the headset off for a second there.
All right. Let's see. Parasite
I
farm.
like the item builds from everyone on Hellborn. Perfect, pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't see any problems whatsoever. I personally don't go Dawnbringer or Gemini, but it's a perfectly viable build.
You know what I would have liked to see on Glacius instead of the... I think Gemini... No, Gemini has a bottle as well. Okay, so instead, Glacius, I think he should have gone with an Iowan Stone instead of the bottle, but I still like the bottle, I guess. Bottle's fine because he needs the regen, whatever. I can see it. I like having the... I like the use of the Iowan Stone.
It's not his bottle.
Oh, is it?
It's
I was
not
trying to
his
see who
stone.
gave it to him. Who gave it to him? Who's that? That is... Oh, Pebble. Pesty. Pesty gave him a bottle. Okay. That's better, I guess. You know, I still like... I'll say right now, I've really liked the couple of times my supports have bought the Iowan Stone. I think it's got a whole bunch of utility. I love the item, actually. I have yet to see it played... I mean, I don't watch Hantor as much anymore, or like Concast, that kind of stuff, but I've yet to see it played like in a super, you know, well-coordinated 5v5 team that, you know, can use it really well. Because I think it has a lot of uses, to be honest with you. The fact that you can easily use it on teammates, I really like. I think Parasite's totally fucked right here. Yeah, he's dead. Way out of position. Way out of position. Especially considering they have this ward right here up by Kongor, so up by the rune, I guess. So he should have seen them walking into his jungle. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked down there. That was kind of a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I really am not seeing any way that they're going to get out of this. I mean, just to reiterate the issues that there were, it was the laning phase. It should have been won a lot harder. You needed to somehow make some use out of Parasite, even if you're, you know, if you're going to be passive farming with Parasite against a Tempest, as you can see, but don't know. Oh yeah, GG, well played.
Oh,
and then
GG.
just oh.
Oh, Kraken going in last second. They're both dead, but this is for the lols, I guess. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. So I'd just like to reiterate on a few things. In the laning phase is where you lost that game, and the reason for that was that you basically had the same situation at top and bot, which is fine. You know, you're getting on both initiator heroes, you're getting the free farm, and both suicides are getting nothing. Mid, you needed to win that, really. I mean, Kraken should have played so much more aggressive against Gemini. He could have really, really boxed him out just by using his mana, you know, and getting a bottle so you can just spam your skills out on him and keep him down. So that was a major issue. The other thing is, as I was trying to get to before there was more action happening there, was with Parasite, you are not going to win a farming battle with a Tempest. So even if you're sacrificing your own farm, go to the opposing jungle and just screw with Tempest. You know, even if they're going to come box you out, that means they're going to have to send someone else in there, like another support or their mid. They're going to have to waste time. You just got to be more of a nuisance with Parasite. You can't sit and static farm against a superior jungler because you're just going to get a golden experience deficit if you're not getting ganks off. Either that or really, really try and put some pressure on. You know, try and gank mid. It's quite easy to gank mid with Parasite. You know, I mean, even if you're not getting a kill, you're applying pressure. You need to apply a lot more pressure with that hero. It's just a super aggressive hero that you fail to utilize. Kraken, the other thing is he, despite his laning phase not being the best, also his general play in team fights and stuff and initiations not the best. Another issue was the warding could have been a little better. I mean, it was doing all right, especially since you're behind and you're solo supporting on a Luna, so it wasn't too bad. But prioritizing the wards that you feel like what you should be thinking is, what do we need to do to win this game? And then you should be thinking as a support. I mean, everyone's going to be thinking differently depending on their heroes, but as a support, then you should be thinking, okay, so where do I need to ward in that case? And you needed to be warding more aggressively, trying to get pickoffs, and then trying to push when you have an advantage. And that was the only way you could have got back into that after a poor laning phase.
Yeah.
I mean, a bloodbath from Pestilence at the end, in case you didn't notice.
Oh, yeah, 10-0.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say is I agree. The laning phase really would have done it. I think at the very least, even if you're not the best Kraken player, you certainly shouldn't have lost that lane, which you did. You lost it. You lost on creep kills. You lost on experience per minute, gold per minute, all of the above. You were behind in level. You lost the lane, which even if you're not the best Kraken player, which if you're not, pick a hero you're more comfortable with. Even if you're more comfortable with, if you're more comfortable with, I don't know, whatever other hero you want to play. If you're more comfortable with Pesty, pick Pesty instead. Although Pesty was their first pick, but I'm just giving some examples of things. But so you shouldn't have lost the lane to say the least. On top of that, I will say that actually it was 100% the mid lane because the Hag did better than the Bubbles. He got more. He got experience. He didn't get really many gold in the lane, but he did better than him. So you won in the suicide aspect. And on top of that, Pebbles outfarmed Pesty. So you won in your short lane aspect. So really, it came down to the fact that yeah, it was mid who lost the lane, which you shouldn't have, and B, yeah, Parasite, who is essentially useless, to be honest with you. He got a codex, I think like 28 minutes or something, whatever it was, crazy, some really late codex, which as James was saying, again, even if you're not going to get kills, put pressure. Don't just let him. Yeah, I mean, granted, he shouldn't have lost the lane to begin with, but if he is losing the lane, fine. You know what? He's losing the lane. Shit happens. Life goes on. Go help him. Go, scare Gemini. Make him worried that you're going to come gank. If he's not worried that you're going to come gank, he's just going to do whatever the hell he wants. And on top of that, I think in the picking phase, Gemini was their last pick. So you saw, although Parasite wasn't your last pick. Parasite was your second to last pick. So you saw their first three heroes. I think maybe even realizing Parasite probably wasn't going to be the best pick early, in the picking phase. I think maybe a keeper would have been better, to be honest with you. I think right out of the gate, I probably would have liked to see a keeper instead in just the lineup. I know you only saw three of their heroes, and maybe James could speak better to that. Maybe he decided, maybe he would say in the picking phase you did okay, and maybe I'm mistaken. But I think a keeper would have been a better fill to your role as opposed to the the Parasite.
Would have been fine if he'd have done something, but he didn't really do anything. He
Yeah.
didn't
So
put any pressure on anyone. He didn't.
Yeah,
Active, and it's hard to gank a Bubbles, but and especially a Bubbles that's barely in the lane, because Bubbles didn't spend basically any time showing himself in that lane.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, if that's the case going on, as soon as Pebbles is level 3 or 4 and Bubbles is still level 1, why not send a Luna mid?
I was just going to say that actually. As soon as Pebbles got a commanding advantage over Bubbles, which he did very quickly, he was getting XYZ creep kills and blah blah blah, and Bubbles had 0 XPM for like the first 7 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever it was, 5 minutes.
Because you're sitting 3v1. Sorry, you're sitting 3v1 in that bot lane, and 2 of the heroes there are not doing anything. So how about you take Parasite and a Luna and you go around the map and you try and make things happen.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually,
pressure wherever you can.
Even with the Gemini, who does have a decent escape, and even like with 2 heroes like that, if Parasite got a Wild Hunter, and came up, and you guys all went on Gemini, you actually might have been able to kill him. To be honest with you, with the 3 of you, if you got like a decent Kraken charge into the right direction, that kind of thing, you could have definitely, I think, at the very least, come close. But yeah, after like Pebbles hit level 3 or 4, maybe state of 5 if you're very, very cautious, definitely go help Kraken. I've said it a million times in my videos, but if you're losing a lane or you're not doing, your job 100%, complete, fine. That's okay. You made mistakes. Maybe you lost the lane you weren't supposed to lose. That's whatever. Shit happens. But it's a team game. If he loses his lane and you don't help him, the team loses is what it comes down to. So, adjust things around to go help the lane that's losing if you need to. Don't stick around trying to babysit someone who's, out farming, out leveling his opponent by insane amounts and doesn't need a babysitter anymore.
I'd like to just sort of summarize here and say the key points, which is Kraken should have got a bottle, should have played a lot more aggressive, used your mana, boxed out the Gemini, and won that lane. And then when you realise that you weren't going to be getting anything done with Parasite and Aluna's, again, not really doing anything, what you at least should have done is use those 2 free heroes, essentially, that aren't doing much, to get complete rune control.
Yeah.
And go and set things up. And use those 2 heroes to be active and go and set things up and try and get ganks off. Even if you're not killing things, you're still applying pressure, and that's all you need to do in order to get the laning phase advantage that you need for your early game team when you're playing against that sort of lineup, because there's no chance that you're ever going to win that late game. No chance. So you really had to do better in the early game. And that is pretty much it. I don't really have many complaints about Hag. She did okay in her lane. You know, just sort of it was just snowballed and she kept getting killed.
Yeah.
Aluna and Parasite could have rotated more. Kraken could have played better. Pebbles did okay, but he wasn't really able to achieve much because the game was kind of lost so early on.
Yeah, I think the only real comment I would have on Pebbles is the items. I think I agree with you when you said he should have gotten a shrunken head before the souls. In my opinion.
Pretty much every hero on that team needs a shrunken head against that team.
Yeah, they do a lot of magic damage. But yeah, he summarized it pretty well. I agree. You know, those are the things you guys should work on. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask, and we'll clarify if we weren't 100% clear in something, or if you maybe have a comment you think we were incorrect about something, feel free to let us know, and we'll give a rebuttal. But so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful to whatever the team name was again. I forgot.
It was
I feel it. I feel it. Okay. I hope it was helpful to I feel it. I hope that was what you guys were looking for. So thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If anybody has any games they would like casted or analyzed or whatever you want to call what we're doing, you know, put the ID in the comments below, and preferably your team name as well or something. Or you can put it in the forum post, and I'm going to link that in the description of the video as well. So yeah, so that's.
I'm going to try and be more exciting with the commentary as well. You know, really get into it.
The British accent does enough, man. It's already exciting enough. I mean, us Americans. Actually, you know what? The most people who watch my video aren't even Americans. They're most people who watch my video are from Thailand, which is weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. At least that's what YouTube tells me. Maybe people lie and say they're from Thailand when they're not. I don't know why they would do that, but I guess it's possible. So thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you later. GG, well played, guys. Elfis out.